morning, Spring Hill. So yesterday was the Barbara Higgins award ceremony, and I had to recite my essay for that scholarship. And Deacon Phillips heard it and he thought it was so nice that I guess he wanted me to say it twice. So,
Amen.
So if without further ado, here's my essay for the Barbara Higgins Scholarship. 3 years, 4 months, and 8 days. At first glance, that doesn't seem like an extreme amount of time. The average American lifespan is 78 years, but for me, it makes a world of difference. That's the gap that separates me from meeting the woman whose legacy is so integral to Gainesville that the mere mentioning of her name sparks light in the eyes of anyone who knew her. That's the stretch of time between me being born and Auntie Barbara returning home. My essay, my research, and my words are the foundation to build the bridge between the two of us, to mend that gap, to make that vital connection. Every step closer to understanding the morality of her character, her motivation, and her determination is another step towards my personal growth. There are lessons to be learned, examples to follow, and memories to cherish. And Barbara Higgins inspired all of them. In a society where misanthropy is normal, abundant, and even accepted, Barbara Higgins never met a stranger. She called everyone baby boy and baby girl when she greeted them and always had a smile on her face. She never failed to share positive words and pieces of insight, and she was usually equipped with a story to tell. She had an uncanny knack for helping people. Auntie Barbara didn't believe a person in need was a burden. To her, it was an opportunity. She was invested in uplifting the local youth, promoting education, and was a member of various groups. She would even give my grandfather, her nephew, advice about life, using her experiences to ensure that in the future, he would follow the right path. Auntie Barbara reminded him to remain humble, to appreciate what people do for you. Baby, it'll take you a long way, she honestly told him. And her advice has stuck with him, even to this day, decades later. It's amazing when I think about it, but the truth is undeniable. Barbara Higgins genuinely loved people. Not only did Barbara Higgins have a big heart, but she was heavily involved in the community. A member of the League of Women Voters, the Democratic Executive Committee, the United Gainesville Community Development Corporation, and a slew of other groups, Auntie Barbara made it her priority to aid whomever she could. She broke ground, defied racial and gender barriers, and paved the way by becoming the first Black employee and deputy supervisor in the Office of Supervisor of Elections, as well as the first woman appointed to the board of directors of the Florida General Baptist Women Convention. Auntie Higgins was a pioneer in the truest sense of the word, and she took her work very seriously. She took it upon herself to ensure the community was informed and knowledgeable about political dealings, traveling the community, spreading her gospel about the importance of the Black vote. She would stand in front of churches and teach that we should vote, we must vote. For her, it was a requirement, not an option. And if you weren't registered, you could be certain she would track you down and register you herself. What a pleasure it is to be able to relate my interest in majoring in political science with her involvement with congressmen, governors, senators, sheriffs, and judges. The more I learn about her, the more the gap between us closes. Most importantly, Auntie Barbara kept her faith close to her heart. God was a cornerstone in everything she did. After presiding over Women's Auxiliary to the Jerusalem Baptist Association for 18 years, she was voted President Emeritus, was Secretary for the Florida General Baptist Convention, a member of Church Women United. The list goes on and on and on. From what I can gather, a key piece of Barbara Higgins is remembering that not only was she humanly genuine, but she was genuinely human as well. With my Christian character being called into question, an aspect of myself that I probably don't evaluate as much as I should, I can't help but compare myself to Auntie Barbara and see how I measure out. 17 years in, and I'm still developing, shaping myself, learning what it truly means to be a decent person. There are days when the last thing I want to do is focus on someone else's needs and issues. When my focus turns inward, I remind myself to look outward and empathize with humanity. Though Auntie Barbara is no longer with us, she still lives on today in the fond memories that my grandfather tells me about her, and the memories of those that she touched, and in the hearts of the friends and family that were blessed to know her. My mom and I drive past her house on the way to church on peaceful Sunday mornings when the sky is clear and the air is cool, and I think about the influence that ordinary people can have in the world around them. Before writing this essay, I only had a vague idea of who Auntie Higgins was, what it was that made her so magnetic, so lovable, and so loving. I continually aspire to a level of excellence. Now, after asking around, researching, fact-finding, and careful consideration, I try to incorporate her sincerity and kindness in my day-to-day life, from the smallest of actions to the grandest of gestures. Barbara Higgins was a woman with innumerable talents, a woman who loved with her whole heart, a woman who, armed with her faith, her drive, and her personality, epitomized Mahatma Gandhi's age-old saying, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Though I'm unable to travel back in time, cross those 3 years, 4 months, and 8 days, and meet with her personally, I now feel as though I know her, as if a piece of her lives with me. And for me, that makes a world of difference.